Hi everybody, it's Jamie, Jarka from Lil Monsters Art. Seeing how everybody's doing today. I'm excited because we are going to be painting a wave today. This is something I have done with my students in the past, and I have actually done at paint parties before, but because so many people always tell me that they love this project, I had a couple of requests for it. So I'm going to show you how to do a simple, it's a wave and like a sunset. So it is a seascape. And then actually if you want to add in a couple things at the end, you can. I'm going to show you everything you need, let you go gather everything, and then we can get started. If you purchase the kit, thank you. Again, I really appreciate it. You've got your colors. Lots of different colors, warm colors and cool colors. Now, warm colors, if you think of it very simply, it's just the first three colors of the rainbow, red, orange, and yellow. And then the last three colors of the rainbow, blue, green, and purple, or green, blue, and purple, are the cool colors. They're found more in nature. So you will need a palette of the warm and cool colors, and you'll also need a little bit of black and a little bit of white. I have this ice cube tray, and I'm just letting some of you know, because if you did order the kit, a lot of people don't know how long the paint lasts. If you actually take your paint and you just spray it a little with a spray bottle, or just add like a couple drips of water, your paint will last a pretty long time. This I had sitting out for like 5 or 6 days, and now it's like pretty much drying out, but I didn't even have a lid on it. So it takes a while to actually dry out completely. I'm actually going to be using this palette today because I was just outside painting my neighbor's car. There was a parade for the teachers at the local school, and she asked me to paint her car. So I brought this outside and I painted her car for her. So that's why I have this egg carton container here. All right. You're going to need a paintbrush. If you purchased the kit, your paintbrush is in there. You can have a couple different sizes if you'd like. I have like a square brush, flat, and then I have a round brush, like a smaller one. Okay. You also need some paper towels, and you're going to need your water to rinse your brush, and you're going to need your paper or your canvas. Now, you're going to need something, it doesn't have to be this big. Like I said, a piece of paper, or if you're lucky and you have the canvas, then you're going to be obviously painting with the canvas. Okay, this is 16 by 20. When I paint today, I'm actually going to hold mine horizontal, long ways, not vertical, tall like a building. Okay, so before you go and gather all your materials and cover your workspace and get everything ready, I want to show you what we're painting. Okay, it's going to look something similar to this. Your colors might not be as bright. My 6-year-old daughter actually painted this one where her waves were up a little bit higher. See, this one's a little bit lower, and her sunset was off to the side, to the left. It may look a little bit like this, or you might just do your own thing, but this is, the goal is to have something look, it almost looks like 80s style with the outlining and everything. But this is what we're gonna be doing today, okay? So go gather your materials, and I will see you in a minute. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, so I did forget to mention that you are gonna need a pencil too, because you're gonna have to draw a couple of things. So if you need to go and get yourself a pencil, you might wanna go get that now. I am going to use a Sharpie because you won't be able to see if I draw with the pencil. So it's a lot easier for me to draw with the Sharpie, okay? Again, my canvas or my paper is going horizontal, that's long ways. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw my first line, and this is going to represent, it's going to be your horizon line, but you can make it straight or you can make it a little bit wavy depending on how you want your water to look. Okay, so I'm going to think about how large do I want my sky. Do I want my sky really, really small? Do I want it big? Do I want it like split in the middle? And then I'm gonna go from there. This painting, I think I want my water to go up a little bit higher. I think I wanna see more of my waves and the color in the water than up in the sky. So I am going to draw a line from the left all the way to the right. And I'm gonna make mine a little wavy. Nothing crazy, but I'm not gonna make it straight. Okay, you can make yours straight if you want though. So I'm gonna start a little bit higher than halfway. This would be like the halfway mark. and I am going to go all the way across my canvas, okay? And now I'm gonna make a few more lines. It doesn't matter if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it just will look, the more lines you do, that'll be the more variation or the more colors that you do in your water, okay? And now I'm gonna make another one. I'm gonna start on the left and going all the way across, so that's 2. I'm gonna do it again. This one I'm gonna only do a little kind of wave in the center. Okay, I'm gonna do my 4th line. Notice how all my lines are different. Yours can be the same, they can be different, that's up to you. And then I'm gonna do my last one. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, okay? And my water is obviously a little bit bigger than my sky, right? So in this one that I did before, my water was pretty small. It was down here, and then my sky started, okay? Or my sunset. All right, so now I'm going to think about where do I want my sunset to be? Do I want it to be in the center? And it could be a sunrise or a sunset. It could be up at the top. You can see the full sun if you want to do a circle. You can make it off to the right. You can make it off to the left. That is completely up to you. This one I think I'm going to do up at the top because I haven't done one like that. So I'm going to make almost like a half circle. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, and sometimes this part gets confusing because a lot of people like to start drawing on the sun and then they keep going back to that same spot that they started, and it looks a little awkward. What you really want to do is you want to start on your sun and go all the way off. Start on your sun and go all the way off in different areas on your sun. So if, you know, maybe this would help you to just make like a little dot and spread them apart a little bit. So here's 1, 2, they're about an inch apart. You don't want them real close. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8 little dots on there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my Sharpie, or you're gonna put your pencil on the dot, and then you're gonna go all the way off your paper. 1, and then you're gonna start here and go to a different spot. 2, start here and go kind of down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Okay, now I might want to do another one up here. Okay, now again, if you watched last week's American flag, it's a little abstract. This one is also going to be a little abstract. Sometimes I do things that look very realistic, or we're trying to make them look like a photograph or like, you know, something very real. When I'm doing this project and when I did our previous project, it's just something that's a little bit more funky. I think because that's the style that I like, but I will do realistic paintings as well in the future. But this one is more, you know, you may not want to do these lines. You don't have to. You can leave that totally open, you know, and then just paint your sky. But this is how I chose to do mine. So you might not want to do that, and that's okay. But now we're ready for paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by painting the top first and then work my way down. The reason why I'm going to start at the top first is because it is going to be a lot easier. I mean, you might be working on a table. You don't want to smear your hand in your paint. So it's a little bit easier when you have, you know, the paint up at the top that you start with and then work your way down. Also, if you at any time need to flip your canvas because you can't reach a certain spot, I recommend flipping your canvas or having a parent flip your canvas if you don't want to get your hands all messy. But again, I'm actually gonna start right now, and I'm going to think about what colors I want up in my sun. And what I'm gonna do is create a pattern. I'm gonna do like one color and then another color and then, you know, go back, and I'll probably only do like a pattern of 2 different colors instead of more, but I'm going to choose my warm colors. Again, warm colors are the colors that remind you of the sun or of being hot. That's red, orange, and yellow, okay? And you can even use a little bit of pink in there too. But I'm gonna start with a little bit of orange. I'm not gonna worry about painting my sun just yet. But I'm going to start with a little bit of orange. And if you want your color to be lighter, you're just going to mix it with a little bit of white to kind of lighten it. I kind of think I might want to do this one a little bit lighter. So I'm going to take a little bit of white, put it right on my brush, and just try to stay in the lines. If you go out of the lines, it's not a big deal. All right, but I lightened up my color by using a little bit of white. All right, and then I want to make sure I get it in the sides. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint every other one. So I'm going to skip one, paint one, skip one, paint one, skip one, paint one, skip one, paint one. So you can kind of put like a little dot on the ones that you're going to paint so you don't, get confused. Then what I'm going to do is wash my brush really good, give them a nice bath, and I'm going to choose my next color that's going to go in between. And I think for this one, I'm going to choose pink, but I'm going to mix it with some white and make it like a light pink as well. So I'm going to complete that now. Okay, and you can start yours, and then after that we're going to do our sun, and I'm going to paint my sun yellow for now. So I'm going to paint these orange, then I'm going to use a light pink, and then I'm going to use yellow for the actual sun. And you could pick whatever colors you want, but I do recommend that you maybe choose the warmer colors. Okay, and like I said, if you want to lighten anything, just add a little bit of white. Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, great job. Now we are done with the top of our painting. We are done with the sky portion, and we did our warmer colors, if that's what you chose. I did mine in a pattern, pink, orange, and then I did my sun yellow. I also made sure that I did the edges of my canvas and the top of my canvas. That's important if you're going to hang it on the wall. Now, when I was painting, I forgot to mention that if you're having a hard time mixing the colors and it's drying really fast, if you every once in a while just dip your paintbrush in a little bit of water, give them a little drink, it'll extend the paint and it'll make it easier for it to spread out. So I apologize that I didn't say that before, but now when you're working down in the bottom in the water, if that helps you, every once in a while you can just give them a little dip into the water and it'll help spread out all the paint that's on your canvas, okay? Also, if you're mixing two colors together, and you want them to mix pretty nicely and evenly, make sure you do it when the colors are still wet. If they dry, it's not going to mix. They're not going to blend together. Okay, so now we're going to worry about doing our water and the sides of our canvas, the bottom of our canvas. I'm going to again start at the top. You can choose the same color for your entire ocean or the sea, or you can switch and do different colors. What I think I'm gonna do is another pattern. Now, I know that I told you we might use green and purple. You can use green to mix it into your blue to make, more like a blue-green if you want to do that. I'm just going to use a little bit of the dark blue, and I have this, I think it's called Caribbean blue. It's really pretty. I'm gonna do a pattern of those two colors, and I may add in a little bit of green at the end, but we'll see. So for right now, I'm just gonna start with the darker blue. So I'm going to dip it in. I'm just gonna go from left to right. Okay, if you're having a hard time with the paint spreading out, again, dip it in a little bit of water. You don't want it like running down the canvas, but it will help to kind of put the paint on a little bit easier. Also, don't forget about your sides. Okay, and I'm just going to finish this, and then I'm going to do this section here because I'm going to do every other section and the bottom section. And then I'm going to do this lighter blue in between. Okay, so take your time, have fun. If you want to do more than two colors, if you wanted to choose the purple, you can. Again, this one that I did a dark blue, a purple, and then the lighter blue. So you can do it however you want. My daughter, Bryn, she did a little bit of purple and just a darker blue for almost throughout the whole thing. Okay, so whatever you choose, you're the artist, so you pick out all your own colors, but you just want it to look like water. You don't want to use red down here. Okay. Okay, so have some fun, and I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, I'm sure you did a wonderful job with your water. Now that that's all finished, you're probably wondering, okay, what are we doing next? Okay, so what I am going to do, now this is drying pretty quickly if you're using the paint that I provided in the kit. It's acrylic paint and it dries relatively fast. So mine, I can tell that it's drying because the areas that were shiny are now kind of turning into like a matte. They don't look like they're shiny anymore, so that means that it's drying. If you would like to do this part, and I'm assuming that a lot of people will want to, it'll kind of make your picture pop. I added black lines everywhere where I did my Sharpie. So that would mean that everywhere where you drew with your pencil, the wave lines, the sun, the rays that are coming off of the sun, that means that you would outline them with black. Now another option, and you have to make sure your painting is really dry, is doing a white outline. I've never done the white outline, so what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do the top. I think I'm going to outline it in white with the lines coming down, and I think I'm going to outline, you know what? I'm wondering if I should do it backwards. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to outline the top with the white, and I'm gonna do the bottom in the ocean with the black. It would kind of make more sense to do the white in the ocean, but it's okay. I'm just gonna try it out because I've never done it before. And you know, you can always change it. If you don't like the way something looks, you could wait for it to dry. You could paint over it again with white if you have extra white at home. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because sometimes your mistakes end up like being the best part of your painting. Okay, so again, I'm going to outline the top with white. That means I'm going to dip the tip of my brush into some nice clean white. Okay, and I'm going to, now that this is dry, you don't want to do it when it's wet with the white because it could just smear into the other colors. And I am going to outline everything that I did with my Sharpie. I'm going to outline it with white. And if I don't like it, I can always change it, but I'll never know unless I try, because I've never done this before. So I'm going to outline all of this in white. And then I'm going to do my water, I'm going to outline it all with black. So I'll wash my brush off really good, and then I'll change my colors. I'm also going to make sure that I don't forget the sides, okay? You know what, I'm wondering if I should just do it all in white. Oh my gosh, the choices. I'm just going to go through and do what I said I was going to do, but look at me, I'm changing my mind all over the place, and that's okay. I do this all the time, okay? So I'm going to do the white and then the black, and then I'll see you in a few minutes. Sorry to confuse you. Okay, I think I really like it. I did the top with the outline of the white, and I did the bottom with the outline of the black, and it kind of makes it look like the sun is back further because it's, you know, a little bit lighter, and this looks really bold, like it's really popping out. So I really like it. I've never tried that before, but you know, that's the best thing about art, is being able to experiment and try out different things. What I'm going to do now is a paper towel roll might be helpful for you. This one is a really small one. This is, I don't even know what this is from, like wrapping paper or something. But I'm gonna use this, and I'm going to stamp it into my colors. Now it's kind of hard to stamp into your palettes because they're a little small. You can always use a plate and scoop some of the paint out onto a plate and stamp and kind of press it on wherever you want. You don't have to use this at all, but I'm gonna actually take my paintbrush, and I'm gonna take the tip, and I'm going to put all different colors into my ocean, or into my sea. So I'm going to dip into a little bit of white, and I'm just going to take the tip of my brush, not the whole thing, and I'm just going to gently do some squiggly lines here. Okay, just to add to my painting. Okay. I'm also going to use different colors. I'm not going to do much at the top. I might put like a little bit something in here, but I'm going to continue to do some like waves with different colors, maybe a little bit of purple, maybe put some of the dark blue on top of the light blue, maybe put some light blue on top of the dark blue, but I'm going to use just the tip of my brush to finish that now. Okay, we'll see how it looks. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. If you wanted to do your stamping now, you can, just so you get an idea of what it can look like. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna do that and I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, the last thing that you can do, and this is completely optional, is if you have a printer, if you have access to a printer, you can print out some of these silhouettes. Like I just hit in surfer silhouette, dolphin silhouette, and a paddleboarder silhouette. If you want to incorporate these into your artwork, you can. There's a couple different ways to do it. One, if you're really good at drawing and you want to just try freehanding it, once this is dry, it has to be completely dry. So the freehand way is an option, which that's going to be pretty hard for a lot of people. The other option is to print it out on your computer about 3 to 4 inches. You don't want it much larger than that, or it's going to look, it's not going to look like the right size. You can also print it out and then cut this image out and then use the image and as like a tracer, and you could trace it on here and then paint it in with the black because the silhouette looks pretty cool. Or, because Bryn likes that one, or you can also do a transfer, okay? So you would take your image and a pencil, and what you would do is on the back, all over where your image is, not just on your image, it has to kind of go all over. You want to get a lot of lead on here. I'm going to do it for the dolphin. You would get a lot of lead on the back here. So I'm going to lean it on the table and I'm just scribbling on the opposite side, and I'm getting a lot of lead all over this dolphin. Okay, you need a lot or it's not going to work out. You're gonna be like, okay, this didn't work. I don't understand what she's telling me to do. Now, again, this is optional. You don't have to do any of these things that I'm telling you to do, but I'm getting a lot of lead on here. I actually, when I do this, I have something called a graphite pencil, which is really awesome because you don't need to use like a real lot of the pencil lead because it's a very soft lead. They call it soft. Okay, but I scribbled all over where this image of the dolphin would be. So I did way further out than the dolphin's body. Okay, and now when this is completely dry, which mine is not dry yet, so I'm going to pause the video and dry it really quick. You're going to find where you want to place your image. If you want to put it in the center, up near the, you know, the sky here. If you want it in your water, you have to think about that. You don't want it to look awkward, so you don't want it to be like in a spot like, you know, off in the sky up here somewhere, but I would do it kind of near your horizon line. And you can, I'll show you how to transfer it once I get this dry. So let me get this dry, and then I'm going to trace it on here. I'll show you what happens. Okay, I'm gonna actually have Bryn video this part. Okay, see you in a minute. So now my canvas is dry. I actually dried it with, I have something called a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. I dried it really, really well. And then I am now going to show you how to apply your silhouette to your artwork if you choose to do so. You do not have to do this again. I showed you I told you about the 2 other ways that you can add them to your canvas. You could cut them out, glue it on. You could cut it out and use it as a tracer and then paint it, or you can do this transfer that I'm going to show you. So we put the pencil on the back, and now you're going to flip to the front, and you are going to hold your dolphin where you want him on your artwork. So obviously this would be a pretty good spot, not up here. That would be a little ridiculous up there. So I am going to put it on my canvas where I would like him to go, and you have to figure out like which, you know, how do you want him to be going into the water? Jumping up, jumping into the water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil, and again, this is a little bit more for advanced artists, or if you have somebody to help you do this, but I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to start up at the fin, and I'm going to push really hard, okay? And I'm going to do it a couple of times. And what is happening is that the pencil that's underneath is now going to be on the canvas because we're pushing it. We're creating a a transfer, okay? But I'm doing it pretty hard. So if you cannot do this or you need help, you may want to ask somebody older or more experienced to give you a hand. But I did do this with third graders and they were fine, so. Okay. Now you can't move your paper around. If you move your paper around and then you try to put it back down, you might as well just forget about it. You might want to just erase it from your canvas, or if you, for some reason, don't like the way it looks, now notice I'm going around again. If you don't like the way it looks, you're gonna have to repaint. So it's very important that you think about if this is something that you even really want to add, okay? All right, so I'm gonna take this off, and once I take it off, I can't put it back on. And I'm going to see that my image is now on my canvas. Okay, so my dolphin image is here, and what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of black on the tip of a small brush, and I am going to very carefully paint in the silhouette or the outline of my dolphin, and then I'm gonna fill him in with the black, and then I'm gonna find a spot somewhere on my canvas to sign my name, and then I'll be all finished, okay? So now you can see what the canvas looks like without it, which I really love how it looks without it, but I just wanted to give this option. And now, in about 20 seconds, you're gonna see what it looks like with the image, okay? And like I said, you can use a dolphin, you can use a surfer, you can do paddleboarder, anything that belongs in the water, okay? Even a sailboat, okay? All right. So awesome job with your paintings, everybody. I'm really proud of you. If you added in the image, I'm sure it looks fabulous. You could have added in the surfer, you could have put in the paddleboarder, a boat, whatever you wanted to put in there. And then make sure you sign your artwork. I did mine with a tiny, well, not a tiny, I did mine with a paintbrush, and I put some black paint on it. And then if you don't want to do it with that, you can always use a Sharpie. That might be a little bit easier. Just make sure your area is dry, but always make sure you sign your artwork. Woo! Okay, so again, thank you for being with me. I want to do a weekly lesson. We already completed a sea turtle and a Peter Max inspired American flag. Each week is something different, but my videos will always stay on my Facebook page at Lil Monsters Art. It's Lil Monsters Art. I really love that I can bring art into your home, because I know right now it's not so easy, and you're doing a great job, parents, and kids, you are doing amazing also. I'm really proud of you, and keep all of your beautiful pictures coming. This is my son Brian, we call him BB. So keep your photos coming. I love seeing what you're all doing, and please stay healthy, and we will see you soon. Thank you. Say bye-bye.